just want to make absolutely sure that I'm recording this, because this is important. Let's see here. Politico. Let's read this article real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Let's read this. Supreme Court has voted to overturn abortion rights. Draft opinion show. Magnificent. I'm doing well. Extremely busy with life. Just trying to stay afloat, brother. I feel you 100%. I hear that you're renovating a house, right? That's pretty awesome. We hold that Roe and Casey must be overruled. Justice Alito writes in an initial majority draft circulated inside the court. So first of all, we have to point out that this isn't official. It's been leaked, right? But you know the funny thing about this is there's been tiny little leaks for about 6 months now that this was coming down the line. So, you know, is it a leak or are they just trying to get people prepared? Because there's already crowds outside the Supreme Court. Like, they're better prepared for this story than I've ever been prepared for anything in my life. They're already there. They're already making videos. Let's see. Politico says the Supreme Court has voted to strike down the landmark Roe v. Wade decision. According to an initial draft majority opinion written by Justice Samuel Alito, circulated inside the court and obtained by Politico. Hey, you take care. You take care, Blue Basket. God bless you. So, why are people freaking out? People are freaking out because they think they're losing a right. But all this is going to do is this is going to push the barrier of law from being in the Supreme Court to the state court, where it used to be at. For those of you who are not old enough to remember or not big fans of history, it was actually President Ronald Reagan who, while he was governor of California, put in legislation that led to the framework that was applied nationally. Eventually became known as the case of Roe v. Wade. So basically, each state already has laws, and a lot of states have trigger laws that when this goes into effect, certain things will take place. In certain states, you'll no longer be able to do this. In other states, you will still be able to do it. So it is going to change people's way of life. You know, the United States is a big place. We have 50 states. Each state has its own thoughts and feelings. But I guess the Supreme Court is basically saying with this decision, we were wrong to make that decision, and it should be up to the states. In fact, I believe what they say in their majority decision is something along the lines of the state lawmakers themselves need to take care of this, and that the actual opinion that led to Roe v. Wade was a bad piece of opinion. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I don't have a dog in this hunt particularly, but it brings us to an interesting Bible topic, which is why I wanted to bring it up. Biblically, this has happened before in the past, ladies and gentlemen. Did you know that? Did you know that this type of thing has always happened in human history? Yeah, it's super interesting. Let me just look it up real quick and talk to you about it. Okay. So, there was a false god named Moloch, right? And Moloch was a horrific, terrible, evil wickedness. And I'm not going to describe what they used to do with Moloch, But let's just say it has a lot to do with this topic that we're discussing today. It's pretty horrific. It's pretty horrific. So I don't know. On the one hand, I want to say this is the first time the Supreme Court has ever gotten anything right in my lifetime. And on the other hand, I realize that they're just saying, stop talking to us about this issue. We're going to put our responsibility off on the states. They literally have taken this hot potato of a topic that they're supposedly, these people that can't even give you what a definition of a human being is. These absolute units of law and knowledge and justice. The ones, who are supposed to be able to decide everything. We've decided we don't want this hot potato anymore, and we're going to kick it right back down the hill. Good job, Supreme Court. Good. You could have took a brave stand and continued being the supreme evil in the entire world. Instead of doing that, you're only semi-evil now, Supreme Court. Yes, because you have washed your hands like Pontius Pilate washed his hands before they crucified Jesus. And do you think you're not going to be responsible because you kicked this downhill? Oh, all my responsibility is gone to this decision now. Oh, man, I am extremely disgusted by this decision at the cowardice of the Supreme Court. Like, you took a stand for evil many, many decades ago. At least you took a stand. Now you're just cowards who are too afraid to make a decision and stick with it. I'm disgusted. Okay? So now we have to rely on each state to decide for itself what's going to happen with this. I have no idea what my state's laws are. But I got my fingers crossed that it's on the side of truth, justice, and goodness and godliness, and not on the side of, convenient baby murder. And that's how Brother Love feels about that. Wanted to make sure I recorded this live so that you would know my exact feelings. Yes, I'm pro-life. I'm anti-baby murder. Can you believe that somebody who would take in and adopt and foster children would have that belief? It's shocking. It's shocking. Just want to absolutely make sure I put that stance out there. In America we have this issue where if somebody has a belief, it infringes on our belief somehow. It's not the way reality works. Just because I believe something doesn't affect anybody else whatsoever. But I might vote according to that belief. That is true. And like Mark Twain said, if voting made a difference, they wouldn't let us do it. Mark Twain, you were a Nostradamus of your time, sir. You were a Nostradamus of your time. Hey, Ministry of Justice, if you're listening to this, Brother Love is pro-life. The Ministry of Truth and Justice that apparently has existed for quite a while now, headed by 8-cat crazy lady Mary Poppins singing, I don't even know what her name is, but she's Captain Insano. And isn't it amazing that we have a Ministry of Truth just revealed by the Biden administration that nobody confirmed? You know this thing called checks and balances that the U.S. government is supposed to have? Checks and balances. You guys ever heard of checks and balances? Oh, we're a free and fair electorate and we do everything by the book and we dot our I's and we cross our T's, except when we're putting 1984 Ministry of Truth together. And they're part of the branch of government that can come to my house and arrest me for my opinion. You know what happened? The U.S. government took a look at what's happening in Australia and said, I wish I could do that. I would like to be able to go into their house because of a Facebook post and arrest them. Hey, I got some good news for you guys. That's what's happening in America. And nobody was confirmed into office. That means they didn't have to go through any kind of rigorous test. What they did was they counted how many cats the applicants had. And then they said, "Can you sing a Mary Poppins song for us?" And then the person who could sing Mary Poppins the best and had the most cats, supreme leader of the Ministry of Truth. 1984, ladies and gentlemen. We're living in some exciting times. God bless us one and all. God bless us one and all. You know what? I love God and I hate sin. And I'm not a sinner, but I occasionally sin. I'm somewhat happy about the news that's coming out today, but mostly disgusted that the Supreme Court, the arbiters of truth and justice, are too cowardly to take a stand. So by making no decision whatsoever, they passed the buck on to 50 states to make the decision. Supreme Court, you are utterly immoral and corrupt in every way possible. You can't even define what it is to be a human. What use are you? What use are you, Supreme Court? You're pathetic. All of you are pathetic. Federalist Society, secret societies, guys, Skull and Bones, Federalist Society, Supreme Court nominees that can't even define anything, can't make a decision, so they kick the buck down the road to the states to make the decision. You're useless. Why do we have you? You might as well be removed. There might as well be no Supreme Court in America. Hey, I got an idea. You know that Ministry of Truth that can come in your house and arrest you for a Facebook post? Why don't we make them the Supreme Court? I'm sure they'll tell us what they believe. Since you won't, Supreme Court justices. Brother Love's a little upset about this. I hate cowards. Do you have no moral compass whatsoever? Can you not stand up for anything you believe in? It's pathetic. It's pathetic. Shun. I shun you, Supreme Court. Shun. Alright, let's get back to Diablo 2. There, Brother Love said what he felt about the most important topic of our time. Whoo! Makes me angry when I see a bunch of well-paid public servants pass the buck like absolute chumps to people they know are also corrupt and inept. Oh my gosh. How many lives could have been saved? How many lives in America could have been saved if you guys had just passed the buck all those decades ago? How much blood is on your hands, Supreme Court? How much? If you're tired of responsibility, maybe you shouldn't have took the job. Have you ever considered that? Maybe you're not qualified to make big decisions. Whew. You know, if there's one thing that God hates, and it says so in the Bible, He hates an unrighteous judge. Yeah. Hate to be you on the day of judgment, Supreme Court. Hate to be you on the day of judgment. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be biblical. Anyway, let me show off my gear real quick since we're playing Diablo 2 Resurrected. We have the triple shelled outdoors rhythm. Homeboy be hitting fast. 90% increased attack speed. Mana Steel, Life Steal, we big pimpin'. We got Jalal's main, like an absolute Chad. This is our best in slot in-game item right here. I'm thinking about switching out Goblin Toe for something different. I just haven't decided yet. But Goblin Toe is nice because it gives crushing blow. As long as you don't have the aggro of the boss one-shotting you, you should be pretty fine. Oh, and most importantly of all, Oh, take a look at plus 11 to summon skills. My monsters are absolute chads. They're absolute chads. They're units. They're boss units. Let's go, baby. We live in a time where people don't even have the guts to release a decision. They've been leaking information for 6 months. I'm so disgusted. It's so pathetic. Ugh. Guys, it's like I've always said, people have this trust in the American Constitution. When has a piece of paper ever saved anybody's life? Can somebody point that out to me? You know? Pontius Pilate knew that Jesus was innocent, and he still let Jesus get killed. You know what I'm saying? In the most horrific way ever. When has politics ever done anything good? All they do is tax us, enslave us, find out new ways to tax us, new ways to enslave us. There was one good politician in the history of the world. One. His name was Marcus Aurelius. His wife cheated on him. His son was a disappointment. He was a sad man. He worked every single day for the Roman Empire. He probably went to hell. One good politician in the history of the world. That's it. There are no more Marcus Aureliuses in the world. And you probably don't want me to point out the one politician that's the closest to him today. Because people will really lose their minds. You know, there's this country. Let Brother Love tell you guys a story, since most people have their heads in the sand and they don't like the truth about anything. Let Brother Love tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was a country, and it was falling apart. It was many years in debt. Huge deficit. Huge deficit. It had only ever known war, famine, and destruction. There was two kinds of people. The 0.00001 rich, and everybody else dirt poor. Then all of a sudden, they got a leader who turned the entire country around. And for the first time in their entire lives, there was a middle class in that country. They got rid of all their debt. They made wise business decisions. I guarantee you, you know the name of the country and its leader, and everybody hates him for no reason right now. Whereas America, on the other hand, America, who I'm proud to be a citizen of, we run at a deficit. $140 trillion in debt. We only make 18 to 20 trillion a year. We're 6 years in debt, but we can't pay off that debt because we keep raising the spending of the government every single year. When's that penny going to drop, ladies and gentlemen? Who's going to be the one left holding the price of that? Not anybody currently in office. You know what I say? This is what Brother Love says about world politics. How about we stop meddling in other people's business and pay off our debts? Maybe instead of us sending billions of dollars to other countries, we could pay off our credit card. What a novel idea. You know what? For every citizen in the United States has to pay their bills except our own government. Isn't that weird? That's so weird. Gosh, that's so odd. You know, the people who are supposed to be a good example to us, our best and bravest and finest minds, the people can't even balance their own checkbook. Did you know that once we tried to audit the United States to see where we were spending our money, and when we came to our military, we had to stop the audit? Did you guys know that? Because they wouldn't allow the audit to continue. Too many people grifting and getting kickbacks. Too much illegal activity happening in America to audit the books. Maybe we should take care of our own first, is all I'm saying. You know, Jordan Peterson says, clean your own room before you go to somebody else's room and try and clean it. Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should clean our own room. Maybe we should find a Supreme Court who's willing to make decisions. Any decision is better than I'm too cowardly to make a decision. Maybe we should find some people who can actually define what a human is. Find some people who can make a decision and stick with it. I want to know, are you evil or are you evil-like, Supreme Court? Are you evil or are you evil and cowardly like the current Supreme Court? I'm curious. I'm curious. See, my moral compass tells me you're scum. That's what my moral compass tells me about the Supreme Court. You're scum. I don't give you any credit whatsoever for A, not doing the right thing, and B, kicking the ball down the field to less able persons. You're cowards. You want to get congratulated for doing the right thing? How about you just do the right thing because it's the right thing to do? How about that? That's called integrity. I know politicians have probably never heard of that word before, but it's called integrity when you do the right thing. You know, like not taking innocent lives, not chopping them up and selling their parts to the highest bidder for medical research. How about that? I don't commend you. I'm disgusted by you, Supreme Court. At least when you were pure evil, I could say, hey, they're pure evil. Now you're just cowards. That's what Brother Love thinks is the Supreme Court and Roe v. Wade. Oh, people love Ronald Reagan. Guys, if it wasn't for Ronald Reagan, that decision would have never got made. This is why you shouldn't put actors as presidents of the United States. Now, this is all I'm going to say. Probably not a good idea. Probably not a good idea. Probably a bad idea. Wanted to make sure that this video gets seen, because I'm not a coward. I know what my faith is, and I stand by my beliefs. But as you can tell, the Summoner Druid really is fantastic. It is delightful. I wish it had some lower resistance built in, but it doesn't. I tell you one thing that's nice about these wolves is the dire wolves eat the bodies that lie around them, and they gain I forget what they gain. They gain some like extra attack rating or something. It's pretty sweet. And this one does cold damage. So they slow down the enemy so they can't just run up and beat you to death. That's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Can't wait to meet the Ministry of Truth. Can't wait to meet him. Because Brother Love's committing some wrong speak. Yeah, I think Moloch is one of the greatest evils that ever happened in the Old Testament Bible. And it doesn't just happen in the Old Testament. Did you guys know that Moloch worship still happens today in America? Yeah, just look it up on YouTube. Look it up on YouTube. Funny thing about America, our elites for some reason have this fascination with Moloch. It's so weird. Gosh, I'm glad I'm not an elite. I'll tell you that much. I'll just be a mucking peasant and be happy with my peasant little life. You know what I'm saying? I'll just muck about in the muck and be happy. Because if the price for being an elite is the murder of the innocent, I want no part of that whatsoever. We got the FBI setting up innocent citizens multiple times this year alone, framing people with child pornography, saying people are trying to kidnap governors. The FBI, the good guys, the FBI. You got the CIA constantly overthrowing foreign governments. Haiti, Gaddafi, Venezuela, Ukraine. Man, we're the bad guys. I'm just going to tell you straight up. USA, the citizens are good people. The government is the bad guys in the world right now. We are the bad guys. Like, if you can't see it, you're just completely ignoring reality. Why are we telling other countries what they can and cannot do? You know, us who's been murdering innocent babies for decades and decades, what right do we have to tell another government what's right and wrong when we don't even know what's right and wrong? Somebody explain that to me. Iron Angel, what's up, homie? If you ain't first, you last. Shaking bait, baby. Shaking bait. Roe v. Wade overturned. They should rename that article to "We're too much of a coward to stop the murder of innocent children, so we're going to kick it down to the states." You're welcome. That's what they should rename it to. Why do we have a Supreme Court? If you wanted somebody incompetent, you could put anybody there. I want some people that can actually make a decision and stick with it. Make the right decision and stick with it. You know, people say they have this problem and that problem with the Bible. Let me tell you the great thing about the Bible. Okay? There's a moral compass in the Bible that will always point you north. And if our beliefs fall outside of that moral compass, it isn't the Bible that's wrong. It's me. If I believe something, let me give you an example. Let me talk about Brother Love's sin real quick. Brother Love has been addicted to pornography before. Yeah, Brother Love. That's my sin. If Brother Love wanted to write the Bible, I would say, hey, it's okay to watch pornography. Hey, that's great. Let's all watch pornography. Let's all watch the pretty ladies on the screen together. It's not what the Bible says. So I work on my sin every single day and keep it in control. I don't sin every day. I don't fail every day. Every single day I try and bring my own moral compass up to where God wants it. It's what we should do as people. I'm not perfect. I'm better than the Supreme Court, I'll tell you that much. I couldn't help myself. I had to throw that out there. You're chumps, man. Oh my gosh, you're chumps. You're worse than any sweaty survivors I've ever faced in my entire life, Supreme Court. How pathetic are you? How pathetic. We're evil, we just don't want people to blame us for anything. So we're evil and we're cowards. That's basically what the Supreme Court said. Brother, it ain't easy. And I've been struggling with it my entire life. It's my particular sin. It's my, everybody has the thing that they struggle with, right? That's my sin. And I put it out there to you guys. And I've talked about this on stream before. You guys might not have heard it, but this is a topic I've discussed before. This is what I deal with. And you can overcome it. Believe me when I say that. God always provides a way to overcome sin. Always. It says so in the New Testament because it's true. He always provides a way. You ever have a sin and you wish you had somebody else's sin? I wish I was an alcoholic. I'm not even joking. Because then I wouldn't be addicted to Mountain Dew. Then I wouldn't have the issue with the pictures that Brother Love has the issue with. You know what I'm saying? I would rather be an alcoholic like most of my family were alcoholics. Why was I given this particular cross to bear? You know what I'm saying? That's okay. God has a plan for everybody. It's a topic I put much study and thought into. And as much as I'd like to change it, the Bible is really quite clear about what it says about brother loves. And Jesus was asked a question. So he gave the response for not only what is the law, but what is the perfection of the law? The law is don't commit adultery. The perfection of the law, if you want to be Christ-like, is don't even think about a woman who's not your wife. Yeah, I know, that's hard. Believe me, there's a lot of beautiful women out there. How can you watch a commercial? How can you watch a streamer? How can you watch a movie and just not be bombarded with beautiful people? You know what I'm saying? It's hard. It's not easy. But that's the perfection that Jesus doesn't force down our throats, but out of our love for his sacrifice, wants us to achieve. I mean, Jesus did something that nobody has ever done before, and nobody could have done. I bet Satan had a big old surprise Pikachu face when Jesus not only overcame all of his temptations, but died for the sins of the world so he could take the keys to the gates of hell with him. Ain't nothing like the blood of the risen Savior, ladies and gentlemen. Ain't nothing like the blood of the Riz. Because every desire that me and you have ever had, Jesus had that temptation. You don't think there was beautiful women in Jerusalem? Jesus was of marrying age when he began his ministry. He chose not to get married. You know he was tempted. There were wealthy women supporting his ministry, but he didn't sin. How many of us could be surrounded by wealthy women and not sin? That is a question, isn't it? That is a question. Hamburger, how are you doing, brother? God bless you. Much love. Important news in America today. Today we found out not only is our Supreme Court evil, they're also cowards. Yeah. It's a good thing to know about the people who make all the important decisions. It's a real good thing to know. You need to know that kind of thing in life, ladies and gentlemen. I would rather know than not know. So actually, I'm thankful. There's so many things to be thankful for in life. You know, if only half the baby murders happen that were currently happening, that's a win. That's a win. I'll take that win any day of the week. But Supreme Court could have made it 0. They could have made it 0. And that means every one that happens from this point forward, the blood is directly on the hands of every judge that kick the can down the road to the states like the cowards they are. This wasn't no bold and brave decision to undo bad law, which is the narrative they're putting out. This is pure cowardice. Do you think because you put the decision on somebody else that you're not responsible? What about Pontius Pilate and Judas Iscariot? You think they don't pay a price for betraying the Savior? For having him beaten and tortured and killed? The Bible came up with an entirely new title for Judas. The son of perdition. The son of hell. What you think happened to Judas? I don't know. But I wouldn't want to be Judas, I tell you that much. You can't just kick the can down the road when it's your decision to make, ladies and gentlemen. The entire point of having a Supreme Court is to have highly intelligent people make the correct moral decision. And I know what you're saying. Law has nothing to do with morality. Well, that's a very sad way to think. Because if that's the case, there's no hope for the world, man. There's no hope whatsoever. I'm a glass half full kind of person. At least some good is going to come of this. At least some good is going to come of this. Let me just throw this out there. I will adopt any child somebody doesn't want. I've done it before, I'll do it again. With a smile on my face and a tear in my eye. Do you guys know how the adoption system works in America? You would be shocked. You would be shocked. There are good organizations that help out. But also, if you just so happen to have $250,000, you can get the baby you want today. You know, you could wait a year and a good organization can slowly help you adopt. But if you got $250,000, you can get the baby of your choice tomorrow. That's how adoption works in America. Capitalism, am I right? Isn't it great? Don't we love capitalism? We sure do. We love it. It's the greatest thing. Question, if heaven and hell are real, do you believe that a person will be sent to hell for simply not believing in God? Assume they're a wonderful person. Well, that's a very difficult question, Blue Basket, and it's one that I've struggled with my entire life. The Bible is very specific. Okay, there's some people who will tell you, yes, they'll get sent to hell. That's the wrong answer. Let me tell you the correct answer. God puts in every single person a conscience. In every single person. Now, you can kill your conscience and sear it to the bone. Or you can be, like you said, a good person and go by your conscience. You know what I'm saying? My personal belief is God is going to look at people and judge them according to their conscience. Doesn't matter what I think they should do according to the Bible. I'm not the judge of these people. And in fact, the Bible is very clear in warning me that I'm not the judge of another man's servant. I'm not God. I couldn't even begin to judge humanity in a righteous, just way. But you know who can? The one person I'm afraid of. The one person I'm scared of. Yes, Brother Love's afraid of God. So do I think it's possible that somebody who doesn't do what I believe they should do could completely go to heaven and all that good stuff? Yeah, absolutely. I do believe that's possible because I'm not a righteous judge. I'm a person who sins daily and tries not to sin. I would make the worst judge. I'd be better than the Supreme Court, but I'm just saying, I'm not the judge of mankind. And beware of anybody that tells you they have all the answers in the Bible. I'm telling you guys, I've been studying the Bible since I was a child, and there's almost no simple answers. And the answers I can give, I have to give the caveat. This is my faith. You have to work out your own faith with fear and trembling. Don't take my word for it. Anybody that tells you they can give you any answer to the Bible, I think they're a charlatan. I'm just going to straight up say, I know no such man, and I watch a lot of good apologists. I know no such man that has every answer to every question in the Bible. I know people that have established their own faith. That's a different thing. But establishing your own faith isn't the same thing as having every answer to every person on every question. Telling people that you can give them the answer they need is a lie. We have to arrive at our own faith. Through what? Well, if we're reasonable scientific people, we look at the facts, the history, the context. We put together a picture in our mind. When new facts come along, we resort, reshuffle, take some things out, put some things in. And, one day I think alcoholism is the most evil thing in the universe, and the next day I'm drinking a wine cooler. You know what I'm saying? That's life, man. That's real life. People living real lives. And everybody deals with the same issue. Humanity has always been the same. From day one, humans have always been exactly the same as they are right now. We have questions, we want answers, and the only way to get those answers is to read the Bible. That's it. If you've never read the Bible before, let me just say, it puts a mirror in your face, and it shows you everything in everything you read that you need to know. Nothing even comes close to reading the Bible. Don't follow a man. There's no good preacher out there. There's no good man out there. And I'm certainly not good. But reading the Bible, the NET version is the most readable, scholarly, peer-reviewed version that's currently out. NET, you can read it for free. The NET version of the Bible. You will read it in English. Easy to understand, clear English. It's not going to be complicated. It's not going to blow your mind. But I would just recommend reading the Bible. It's the best thing that you can do. And then after that, praying. Making your own personal relationship with the higher power. That's the next step after that. Yeah, that's what the Bible says, Blue. A hamburger is addicted to Pepsi. Yeah, I'm addicted to Mountain Dew hamburger. Like, dude, I totally get it. So every time he goes to he always stays there. Yeah, I get it, 100%. But thank you for that question, Blue Basket. Yeah, Brother Love, I'm taking the blinders off this channel, like 100%. Now that I know there's a ministry of truth in America, I'm just gonna put my faith out there to be seen. That's just what we need in our lives. A Dolores Umbridge to tell us that we're having wrong think in our lives. That's just what we need. Good job, Biden administration. Good job. Alright, nigga, you're funny, man. You are funny. Listen, Samson was addicted to the same thing, so you have somebody to look at. Hey, here's the thing about Samson. I want you guys to think about this parallel. Samson was the strongest man who ever lived. He made love with the kissy time woman of the night. And then he went out and ripped the gates off of the city and carried them up a hill and put them up the hill. How manly was Samson? So manly, such a Chad. He made every sin you could possibly do, made every mistake. But you know what he did? In the end, he looked up to God and said, I was wrong. Give me my vengeance. And the Lord let Samson kill more Philistines in his death than he killed in his entire life. I guess my point is, Samson made every mistake possible, but God was there for him at the end. Now take a look at King Solomon, the wisest, the richest, 600 concubines, 400 wives. He asked God for something that wasn't selfish, so God blessed him with riches, wisdom beyond any man's ever going to have, God said. Solomon was the wisest. Solomon probably went to hell. I don't know that for a fact, but let me tell you why I believe that. Because 300 years later, Josiah went to the temple and tore down the pagan idols, the Baal and Asheroth that had been there since the time of King Solomon. So I would rather be the stupidest person in the world but choose God and go to heaven than be the wisest person in the world and have all the women and all the riches and not make it. You know what I'm saying? But there's people in the Bible who reflect us. There's always been people like us. You just gotta read the Bible. I just don't care anymore. That's why I put the video up, made sure that it's recording. I want people to know I'm against baby killing. That's where Brother Love draws the line. And this Supreme Court decision does not make me happy, because the innocent are still going to get killed and chopped up and sold for parts among the rich medical industries. That doesn't make me happy. Could I get a Supreme Court, please, who can make the right decision and not be cowards? What a farce. Oh yeah, what we were talking about earlier. Yeah, I hate to say this to you guys, but I'm afraid that even though I love being American, it's the greatest thing ever. Our government's the bad guys in the world. I hate to tell you guys that. I hate to be the one to break the news to you. But we're going around overthrowing government after government for disagreeing with what we say and what we think. And we don't have the moral high ground. We can't even make important decisions like Roe versus Wade. But we're peerless among our, the people in the world. Nah, come on, man. Don't give me that mess. Don't give me that mess. We need to mind our own business, pay our own bills, pay off our national debt. Do you know why Russia didn't lose in the first 2 weeks of the war? Because they didn't have any debt. Their imports was only 35% of their GDP. That means 65% of their GDP is pure profit. They don't have debt. We are up to our eyeballs in debt. Probably over 140 trillion. I don't know what the true number is. But we need to pay our bills. We need to pay our bills. How do you expect every citizen to pay their bill except the government, right? You know, that's the one thing that I liked about Bill Clinton is when he took office, the national debt started coming down. And you know, all the Republicans said it wasn't Clinton, it was the Republicans. I don't know what the truth of that is. I don't know what the truth is. That's the one good thing I could say about the Clinton presidency, is the debt started to go away. But since Clinton, we've just been riding higher and higher debt, man. And don't get me wrong, you know there's problems with Clinton. I'm not going to say what they are. I want a government that pays its bills on time. That's what I want. Minds its own business, pays its own bills on time. Listen, we're halfway across the world. We have to worry about Canada and Mexico. That's who we have to worry about. I don't understand why we're supporting other countries with our own money. I don't understand. Don't we have our own debt that we need to... What about the homeless in America? We don't have hungry people in America we can take care of? Oh, I don't get it. I don't get it. Now the whole world hates us, and we didn't do nothing wrong. Our government did stuff wrong. The whole world hates us. What do you think they're going to do to us when we're no longer a world power? No world power lasts forever, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't believe me, ask the British Empire. Take a look at Germany right now. Germany is as strong right now as we're probably likely to see them for the rest of our lives. Because their economy is not set up in the right way. They're going to slowly lose power. I don't understand. I don't understand how people can make the decisions that they're making. I just don't understand people sometimes. Then again, I'm not a very smart person, you know? I've always told you guys that. I'm just a country boy from Georgia. What do I know? I don't know anything. But I like to listen to people who do know stuff. No! We died! Why cruel world? Why Tom Cruise? You were supposed to save me. That does happen sometimes as a summoner. There's nothing you can do about it. It happens on Necromancer too. Yeah. You're gonna die in this game, unfortunately. That's life. That's reality. Alright, let's go resurrect our mercenary.
Hello, no.
Yeah, I was a weird kid, I'm not gonna lie.
Day.
I was the only kid I knew who took a notebook into church and wrote down the sermons and tried to understand how they came to the conclusions they came to. I was weird. You know, most people just sit there bored and then they just espout whatever you tell them to believe. They'll say they believe it. Brother Love is very argumentative in that way. I'm not going to believe something just because somebody I respect says something. It's not the way it works with Brother Love. I need evidence. Which is why I believe in God. I believe there's evidence that God exists. I believe in heaven and hell. Absolutely. Absolutely. Alright, we need to go find this place. Just remember, Brother Love, when 8-cat crazy Mary Poppins singing lady comes to get me. Don't forget that Brother Love existed at one point. Don't forget about me, guys. I can't remember which way I went. Oh, my God. I'm hoping this is it down here. Nah, I think we took a wrong turn at Albuquerque. Did I go left instead of going right? How embarrassing. How embarrassing. Yep, I think I went the wrong way. I think I was supposed to go to the, I think I was supposed to go to the left. This is my least favorite area in all of Diablo 2 because it's randomly generated. I think most people hate this area. Well, I'm definitely not a big fan. Definitely not a big fan of this area. Spider Forest. Dude, I got no idea which way my body is. I am lost. What? I'm gonna be searching forever for this thing. Oh my gosh. This is the worst. I gotta find it. Because I gotta complete that area. Okay, well it's not gonna be in the Spider Forest, it's gonna be in the Flare Jungle. Is where it's gonna be at. Why so complicated? Why so complicated, DVD? So no, I don't congratulate the Supreme Court on a job half done. I don't congratulate them for being the way they are. I just wanted to share my feelings on that. I'm going to take a Sudafed. I'm going to check on my daughter. And hopefully, I will see you guys in the future. And if not, know that I love you guys. And it was worth it. I want you guys to know that. I love you. And no matter what happens to me, standing up for what you believe and for what's right is always worth it.
I need a key.
And don't forget about old Samson. Made every mistake in the world, but in the end, he got it right. Praise God. John 3:16. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, that who should ever believe in him should not perish but have everlasting life. John 3:16, guys. Peace, and we out.